What is going on, YouTube? Today, as you can probably guess by the title, I tried to start the combat system for the Monkey Trials and got put into a complete rabbit hole. So anyway, without further ado, let me take you on a journey to make a combat framework for the game. As a reminder from where we began, this is simply where we were. It was just kind of at the crux of the movement system, and there really wasn't much going on other than a little animation and simply the player character. So at about this point in development, I had just begun the combat system, and so as you can see, I was doing a whole bunch of stuff just to connect inputs that the player is making, such as the M1 and then later the block with the F keybind and stuff, which took me a while. But as I was doing that, I had a horrible realization that the movement, or the system I was using for the base character class, which sucked, was not good. So I had to redo all of that, which really sucked. So now that you've been thinking, well, everything must be finished now, there must be nothing else we can do with the movement system or anything previously. Well, you're wrong. It was not easy. So to explain what I mean, the dash originally, it followed the original camera direction, but that is not what we want. Instead, what we want to do, or at least what I prefer, is to have an 8-direction system that a lot of games have. So think of games like Pixel Blade, or games of that nature. I think it's a lot better. So that is what I mean. One of the things I mean. But unfortunately, this was easier said than done. A lot of my past attempts, including things that were really stupid, like the actual dash logic, me trying to get the camera from the replicated storage, and not knowing how to use dot magnitude on a vector, all led to me having severe problems. And it led to me getting very angry because I didn't understand how I could access the camera and make the 8-directional system adjust for shift lock and that stuff. And you may be asking yourself, why is that a problem? And I'll tell you. You know the easiest fix I could have done? One single line of code. Anyways, after that annoying encounter, I decided to make a lot of the animations, as you're seeing right now, just a lot of the combat things that I would need later. And also in this time, I made an animation handler, which basically made sure that the player was able to receive animations from the combat controller. And as you can tell from right over here, this is me adding a highlight, so whenever you hit a player, or anything for that matter, you get a little bit of a highlight, as you can see on that rig. It basically was meant to do that, so I spent a little time on this. Here is just a little demonstration of what the highlight looks like. It's just a red little outline that shows when you actually hit someone. Now over here, you can kind of see me working on this new sort of system that I had to create. It's basically a very rudimentary enemy system, so this is, think your dummies in games like Jujutsu Shenanigans or The Strongest Battlegrounds, just simple things that can perform simple tasks. Obviously before, like you saw, there was, or if you didn't, there was a dummy that did absolutely nothing. It just stood there and took attacks. But another type of dummy, or two other types of dummies I actually made, were the attack and blocking dummies, which were both very useful for testing out different interactions. So, as a final thing that I kind of did right before finishing up the combat system to move on to the final part of what I've accomplished over the 3 weeks was the Ragdoll controller. This controller basically makes it so if you imagine that one ragdoll game where you would ragdoll and like fall downstairs and be shot out of cannons. It's like that, but for an R6. I'll explain it a little bit in very brief and simpleton terms, but it's basically where the normal, I guess, joints of a player are turned into ball joints, so they don't move like rotationally, they move omnidirectionally, so they move in every direction, or they can. So that's kind of what I did. It took a little bit of time to figure out and get it all working, but in the end, it looked pretty good. Just to kind of show off what the final product looks like, this is it. As you can see, it kind of falls over if you were to actually be hit and your body, gets launched. So yeah, I think it looks good, but let me know what you think. Anyways, so the last system that I had come up with is the enemy system, or the NPC system in general. This system is mainly meant for instances where you need to fight something, which is going to be very important in game. For example, a lot of the combat interactions in game are not going to be player v player. Instead, it's going to be player versus environment, so things like enemies, boulders, etc., bosses, all of that stuff in a very wave-like mode. So if you'll see, there's a couple of things on screen, the update function and the new function. Basically, the update function, every single time the game loads, like per frame, it makes sure to update the enemy's movement. So for all enemies, it updates that, and you can actually see that in the brain::update. So yeah, that's kind of what that does. So this actually has the potential to have a ton of enemies, the capacity to. And to show off the final little bit of progress that was made over this time, you can kind of see, you can dash, all that other stuff, all that good stuff. You can hit and you'll see the guy flying. So there's that. There's also blocking, so you can obviously see the block register and get deflected, but if you hit from behind, obviously that does not work. And same thing for the attack. I block, the dummy does not. Now, there are some bugs, obviously, but for the most part, it works. I have a set of dummies and a ton of stuff that makes the game really cool. So anyways, that is what I have done for today. And let's go off to the final segment. So yeah, what did I accomplish in this segment? I started the combat, I finished the combat system, started the enemy system, and also a couple of other things like fixing the movement system. So that's what I got done and the goals. The lesson I learned from all of this was obviously read the documentation. It would have avoided many errors. Anyways, I just wanted to say, have a nice day, and please subscribe.